To have a place that you can come to each year, how many people have that?
You don't have that opportunity in many other parts of your life. It's just beautiful. I think we've just been incredibly lucky up here.
If you love to sing, this is the place for you.
I'm Ken Cox, and I'm the director of the CSA Choir, and it's an honor to be able to say that. I've been involved in the choir since 1970. So I was working at the gas station, the old CSA gas station by the Crystal View, and Tom Williams came over and nabbed me for the choir. He said, we need some bass help, and I understand you have a bass voice. So he got me right away, and so I sang in the choir for 17 years under Tom. His last year was 86, and then my first year to start was 88. So this is my 37th summer as director of the choir. Yeah, 55 years on the staff here. It's kind of crazy. But who else? I mean, you know, if I was to die tomorrow, mid-stride somewhere, and when I get up to heaven, I would not think that I was gypped out of anything, because I've been able to be here for 55 complete summers. That's just, you know, what a blessing. Singing in the choir certainly got me more interested in singing, and then singing the roles up here in the operettas. That got me kind of involved in the musical life pretty quickly here. Very formative for me, because I had never really been on stage or sung on stage before. Choir for me is a representation of the CSA, really of the CSA in kind of a smaller form. We've got multiple generations there in choir. We have a group of 4 teenage girls in the choir right now, which is fabulous. I'm calling them the Fab Four. And we also have people that have been in there, like Jane Cooper, for 50, 60 years. That aspect of it is tremendous, just all ages working together. The more activities that we have here at the Assembly that involve different generations, the better.
I'm Jane Cooper, and I started in the choir in 1952. It's been one of the great joys I've always had up here. My whole life, I just truly love the choir. So. Much as I have been involved in every other aspect of Assembly life, constantly since I was a child, the choir has had the deepest meaning for me because of the people in it. It is so much like a family. The choir draws from all parts of the Assembly. From the time I started in the choir, all my best friends were in the choir. So that's what we did. That was, you know, some people went to parties, we were in the choir. People do bond, and people and family groups very often, kind of, you know, the children and the grandchildren.
Hello, I'm Tammy Transu Royal, and I've been in the assembly choir for 68 years as an alto, beginning at age 15.
And I'm Megan Royal Corella, and I believe I have been in the CSA choir for about 38 of my years.
In history, this is, you see, Megan was only 12. Tom pretty much, Williams, wanted people to be teenagers to begin, but we got special permission from Tom Williams, who let a 12-year-old join the choir. And it is written here in this note paper of his that gave her permission to come and join the choir at that early age. Now, if I can just segue, Sophia Corella started singing in the choir this past Sunday. She is 12. And so it is a third generation of girls here who have been loyal to the CSA choir, and some guys too. But I mean, we're talking mother, daughter, granddaughter here. The highlight of my week is singing next to Megan at church choir. And just the fun of being able to hear her voice.
For us, it's just been a family tradition, obviously, from a very young age. And it's also a way that we can, lift our song, lift our voices up in song, to the Lord and exercise our faith in that beautiful kind of way. And when you can do it with your family, you've got your dad and your brother behind you singing, and their voices are, carrying through. And it's just, it's a wonderful, it's a wonderful feeling, and it's a wonderful experience to just be that connected, not only to the place, but to each other.
I've been very, very fortunate over the years to have wonderful musical partners at the piano. And TJ and his wife Susan, who plays occasionally for us. I mean, he's been such a joy to work with. I mean, what a fine musician, just an excellent musician, wonderful pianist. But he's also, I think, come to just enjoy the spirit of the choir. To have somebody that's such a high level talent as TJ, and to know that he's really adopted the choir as kind of his second family, that really makes it special. That's such a benefit to the director and to the choir, to have somebody that really, when they play the first four measures of the piece, they play it so beautifully that it just inspires you to sing beautifully.
I'm TJ Lymanstill, and I've been playing as the pianist with the CSA and with the choir since I think 2000, I think the year 2000. And I've just retired from teaching at the Interlochen Arts Academy, which I started in '98.
I'm Susan Day, and I have been subbing for TJ since the time that he started, which was 2000. But we, over the years, have played a few concerts, both chamber music and solo concerts.
What does the CSA choir mean to us?
To us, the choir is the whole thing.
Well, the CSA choir is really a fantastic choir, especially for a church choir. a lot of the people who are the members are, the leaders of their sections back in their home choirs. It's also a group of friends and, companions who have been, many of them have known each other for literally generations.
Even though technically we are outside of the CSA, I felt that from the beginning that we were embraced as and appreciated as part of the choir. The people that we know at the CSA are the choir members, but gosh, that's a lot of people. And so it's like a group of friends. What I love about it is having just sort of slipped into the tradition in a way, having been part of this organization since 2000 or 2001, has been one of the steady parts of our lives. It's like making music with equals, which is a great privilege, I guess you would say. They know their music, they sing it well, they expect the accompanists to be well prepared and to do their job well, and there's a symbiosis there that is very nice to be a part of.
Yeah, and having worked with Ken for all this time too, it's kind of fun. I feel a little bit like the assistant conductor, like the sound that you're creating is a sound that needs to blend with the choir, and it needs to work and support their sound without interfering with it.
Of course, the pianist and the conductor have to be completely linked, but a pianist who's really sympathetic to the choir can tell if there's a line or a phrase that is giving a particular voice problems.
The art of being an accompanist is that you have to be able to do all of these things, and at just on an instant be able to respond and adjust to something that your partner or your cohorts are doing.
You're a part of the fabric of the music, and for me, that's the great joy of playing collaborative music is making music together.
Ken is a fantastic conductor. He's a terrific musician. A really first-class musician.
Ken Cox is someone I've known since he was a little boy. And I knew his grandparents, his grandmother especially. So he's deeply rooted in the assembly. And nobody knew when he was young that he was going to turn out to have such a wonderful voice and a brilliant career. But the fact that the assembly means so much to him that even when he was traveling around the world teaching and performing, this was a focus for him so that he would always be able to come back here.
So from 1970 until 86, I was a member of the bass section, so I was just one of the guys in the back. And then Tom announced that that 86 was going to be his last year, and I was singing professionally at that point, and doing some travel in the summertime, and I kind of thought, well, I think I could do this. And Tom actually encouraged me to think about it. He thought that I could do it. To imagine myself directing the choir was a bit of a leap of faith, but the next summer of '87, then they let each candidate for if you wanted to be the director, which I was one of three. They let each one of us direct the choir for 2 or 3 Sundays, and when I did it, it seemed to go well. I must give Tom a big amount of thanks to that, because I watched this guy who, Tom Williams was such a leader of people. guess the first few years I really felt myself almost as a younger representation, or using a lot of the things that I saw in Tom. But the more summers that I did it, more and more of my own personality started to come out. There's certain pieces that when I conduct, I still feel Tom. When we sing Pax Dei, that's one of the traditional benedictions that we do. I can almost feel the gestures that I do with my hands when I conduct. I can almost feel Tom's hands kind of in mine as I do that. They're largely the same as what he did, I'm sure. I think having that time being under Tom's leadership and watching him get people to listen to each other and be excited about being in choir, that really gave me a foundation and helped me understand what choir is about.
The leadership that we've had for the choir, the accompanists we've been able to have, Emily, of course, and then TJ. I've only had 2 choir directors in all the years I've been at the Assembly, because first it was Tom Williams and then it's been Ken Cox. And I learned to sing from Tom, which was amazing. I never sang anywhere else but up here.
Yeah, he and Emily were quite the duo.
They were a force.
So the last concert we did was in 2000, and it was part of the bicentennial celebration. So it's been 24 years, and I don't know why we haven't done it before now, but I guess you get involved doing other things in the summertime. But so what we're going to do is we're going to do 12 anthems, kind of our favorite anthems over the last 20 years, and but so it's a mix of some spirituals, some more traditional hymn-based tunes, and we're going to do our 2 big numbers that we alternate. Every other summer we do the Battle Hymn and When the Saints Go Marching In. We're going to end the first half with When the Saints Go Marching In, and then end the concert with the Battle Hymn. TJ and Susan Lyman-Stoll are going to play some piano music as well.
This year he had an idea of like, well, how about we do a solo thing in here, and then we'll take have an offertory here, and then have us do a duet.
My first reaction when Ken asked us to, TJ said, "Do you want to do this?" And I said, "How important is our marriage?"
Kind of nice because it's been a while since we've done duets together.
One person has the responsibility of the pedal. Pedal is very important. You're pedaling not only your own part, but you're pedaling the other person's part, and that can lead to a little bit of annoyance sometimes. You have to love them even if they're not your spouse.
We
manage.
Yeah, we get along.
Now, is it going to be fun? I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's just going to be a whole bunch of fun. I think both for the choir and for the audiences. And I think each one of the pieces that we sing on that concert, there's probably somebody out there that has a special memory of that piece.
The last one we did was for the centennial, 2000, so quite a gap here in time. And I came across this, which made me smile. We were on our way, coming down Fortune, on the way to the meeting house to sing for the concert. And so Megan there, and I just jumped ahead and I said, oh, this is a snapshot to be just idolized for years to come. Singing in the rain on our way to do the concert, which of course proved to be a wonderful concert, and all those CDs everybody's been listening to for 25 years.
It'll be a really happy moment. There'll probably be tears of happiness as well as laughter and cheers afterwards. But it'll be something that kind of comes out of the assembly tradition, which is all about people knowing each other for years and loving each other for years. And this is just a way to express that.
come along and join. Come and sit in and come to a rehearsal. Come to Sunday morning practice. Come to the Wednesday night rehearsal, and just show up. You know, you will be welcomed. It is absolutely, there's nothing exclusive about it, and people are so happy when somebody else, a new person, comes in and joins.
You get to know people that you might not get to know in some other way. And the assembly is, you know, just represents a broad spectrum of people.
You know, and we have folks from Frankfurt who enjoy coming. You don't have to be a member of the assembly to sing in the choir.
We've had people from town over the years who may sing in the choir in a church in town, but they'll come here to sing in the summer because they really enjoy the choir.
One tradition we have in choir is the first time you're in choir each summer, we take a break during rehearsal, or either Wednesday or Sunday, and we have you stand up and tell us your name, where you're from, and just a little bit of business about the last year.
He wants everybody to feel that they're brought into the fold, and that there's a way for people to introduce themselves to the choir, to each other.
Mm-hmm. You know, that part of choir to me is almost as important as the music making.
We really, really want young people. That is the kind of thing I think about a lot, because I think about it with everything in the assembly as young people have less time here. The things that bond people and the things that tie people to the assembly. The choir is certainly one of those. As I said, my crowd was in the choir when we were 12 and 13. We're now in our 80s and we're all still in the choir.
You know, most of us see an institution like the choir and the CSA, and we want to make sure that it continues. And that's natural, you know, and I think the younger generation also probably wants to see it continue. Is it going to change? You betcha. You know, and one of the things I see in retiring, for instance, you know, people who are around the ages of our daughter are coming in and taking over, and you know, it's not my hope that they will take over and do all the things that I did. My hope is that they move on, do all kinds of things that I don't do. Do the important things. We all recognize that, you know, in terms of training young musicians, that there are certain things that are going to be continued. But there are certain things that are going to change and should change. And then it will go to some different direction. And that's healthy. That's the way the world should work, you know.
There's an old saying that says, "He who sings prays twice." And there's something about music, and you work together to bring this anthem together and to make it sing. There's a real sense of unity. There's a sense of everybody has to listen and come together to make this happen. And what we make lasts for a lifetime.